Hi, I am Raina Grimsley. Now first I would like to introduce myself so you can get to know me. I am a senior at Mitchell High School here in South Dakota. I like to keep myself busy in school. I'm in things like student council, band, dance, speech, debate, all that good stuff. But also I like to keep myself busy in my community. I volunteer for our church, Holy Family, as a lector, and I also volunteer for the Coins for Kids here in Mitchell. In addition, I have a job at Cool 98 and KMIT, two local radio stations here. But I do like to relax, too. I think my favorite place in the entire world is the movie theater here in Mitchell, so my friends and I like to hang out there a lot. Now, the prompt for this video asked me why I think the Poet Never Satisfied Scholarship would fit me very well. And personally, when I think of the phrase never satisfied, I think of the people who are still out there looking for answers to problems that sometimes people don't even recognize. I think that people who are never satisfied are kind of motivated by the problems they see in society and are always looking for answers. Now, personally, my problem that I really think needs to be solved is healthcare in the Midwest. Now, many statistics have shown that rural areas have low numbers of doctors, especially the specialist doctors. So I would like to use the Poet Never Satisfied Scholarship to kind of kick off, first of all, my career to be an orthopedic surgeon, but second off, to kind of kick off this campaign in the Midwest to help encourage rural doctors to stay in the Midwest and rural areas. Now, I have 4 specific ideas that I hope to improve upon in my future and institute in South Dakota and the remaining states. First, I think that rural universities need to recruit from rural areas, and I think this for 2 main reasons. First, statistics show that people are likely to stay in or around where they go to college. So if universities were to start young and recruit younger people, it's more likely that they would stay there for their future. And secondly, people in the Midwest care about the Midwest more. I know this is true for myself. I care about South Dakota, which is why I want to be a doctor in South Dakota. But if I lived somewhere like Florida, I maybe would want to be a doctor in Florida. So I think it's important that rural areas really focus on the people in the rural areas, especially young people in universities. Secondly, I think there needs to be more mentorship programs in rural care facilities. Personally, I got to job shadow a little bit at the hospital here in Mitchell, and I think it is a crazy, awesome opportunity that really just brings out people's passions in life. So I think it would encourage people to pursue a career in healthcare and stay in the Midwest as well. Third, I think government needs to help fund education in a very specific way. I researched a little bit, and many countries have plans where federal or local governments tie funding of tuition and living costs to service in rural areas for a certain amount of time. Now, I know this is true in some areas. I know in South Dakota, this is true on the reservations. They will pay for parts of your tuition if you stay on the reservations and serve there for about 5 years. But I think this needs to be a wider thing in the Midwest, considering that there is this big problem. The government needs to help fund this tuition if they want adequate health care in the Midwest. And fourth and finally, I think federal government, we need to start a campaign for the federal government, because this is a problem that is fairly unrecognized by a majority of the country, because a majority of the country is not in the Midwest. So we need to create campaigns to inform people of this problem, not only in the Midwest, but outside of it as well, so we can really get the word out there and start a campaign. So thank you for listening to my ideas and background, and for considering me for the Poet Never Satisfied Scholarship.